How can you finally break free from OCD? Well, by learning how to feel the fear and moving forward anyway towards the life that you really want to live. OCD has this way of persuading us to stop taking action, to fall back and to start doing things that really keep us stuck. When we learn that actually we are stronger than the OCD, that we don't have to keep on doing the same old compulsions that for a long time have been really controlling us and stopping us from living our lives in the way in which we really want to. So how do we go about this? Because although you may know that you need to kind of learn how to lean into that fear and to allow that discomfort to actually be there, doing so can be a different thing altogether. And really what I think we have to learn to do is to learn how to kind of hold a paradox in our hands. So what do I mean by this? Well, really the paradox is this. There's our fear, the obsession, the thing that we really, really dislike, the thing that we just, if we were honest with ourselves, we would just be able to get rid of. We kind of tell ourselves, once I get rid of that fear, once it's gone, once I have that certainty, well, then I can be happy. Then I can start living my life in the way in which I want to. But as long as it is here, that's going to steal my joy. It's going to steal the present moment from me. It's going to take me away from everything that I really care about, and it's going to make me miserable and feel like I'm stuck. Unfortunately, that kind of line of thinking will keep us stuck. What we've got to try to develop instead is this idea that actually that thing, that imperfection, that obsession, that thing that you really wish wasn't present, you can actually learn to allow that thing to be there. You can hold that thing that you dislike in your hand. You can observe it. You can be aware of it. It doesn't actually have to be completely gone in order for you to start living your life, in order for you to start taking action and to find joy in the present moment. This is something that is a real game changer when we really begin to understand this, that we don't have to get rid of that thing. We don't have to have 100% certainty. You can have very much close to having 100% certainty about your fears. But you don't have to have, 100%. You can have 99.999%, and you can learn to be comfortable with that tiny amount of uncertainty. And when you can do that, really what you're doing is you're learning how to hold this paradox in your hand. The other side of the paradox is that actually, in every present moment, in this moment right now, there is always a certain level of peace available to us. And if you're struggling with OCD, I do now have a 12-week program to help you to break free. It's based upon my own personal experiences of dealing with OCD for many years. It includes one-to-one coaching sessions with me, videos, meditations, worksheets. There's also a weekly group session. If you're interested in applying for that, you can by heading over to my website, robertjamescoaching.com, and booking in there for a free discovery call. Deep within us, we actually have a well of calm, of freedom, and it's really about learning how to be more in the present moment, to sink down a bit more into the present, to realize that if we fully inhabit the present, we can always find that sense of calm and peace within, even with that thing that we don't like being present at the same time. And so, when I'm talking about holding this paradox in your hand, that's really what I'm talking about, is this ability that we all have to recognize an imperfection, to view it, to see it, but at the same time to recognize that there's also a lot of joy in the present moment if we allow ourselves to connect with it. Ultimately, it's about learning how to come more into the present, to be aware of something that you don't like, to acknowledge that it's there, but choose to kind of come into the present anyway, to occupy yourself with things, to be more in your life, to allow that imperfection to be there, and to choose to focus your attention on your values or what is right in front of you in this moment. I think this is something that when we do this, when we learn to tolerate that paradox, ultimately we begin to get our freedom back. when we're constantly caught in this idea that I need to get rid of this thing in order to be happy, and then I can start living my life. That's when, really we're not accepting that paradox at all. That's when we're pushing things away, we're resisting, and that's when everything gets out of control because, what we resist persists. So instead of taking that resistance approach, which Carl Jung pointed out, instead what we need to learn to do is to acknowledge that there is difficulty sometimes in the present, but there's also, peace. There's also good things that we can pay attention to. And if we do pay attention to those things more, that thing that we don't like, well, we begin to forget about it. And I think that's the other really important thing, is to recognize that it's not about putting up with discomfort all the time. It's about learning how to put up with a bit more discomfort in the present, so that at some point that discomfort begins to go down, to recede, and it's not the biggest thing in our minds anymore. It's not taking up all of our attention. It's not bothering us in quite the same way. So many thanks, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed that one. Remember, if you're interested in applying for one of my programs, you can by heading over to my website, robertjamescoaching.com, and booking in there for a free discovery call. Many thanks, and I will see you next time. This video is for education only. It's not therapy or medical advice. If you're struggling, please speak with a licensed mental health professional.